Hello, welcome back to That's Craftable, where my subscribers are always in charge. Today we have 4 trash to treasure projects, all from just household garbage that you could reuse to create decor for your home. And I'm starting with this kitty litter container, and we're actually going to get 2 decor pieces from this one piece. So just cut off the lid and then cut it in half, and we're going to make 2 wall hanging olive type baskets for our wall. And for my backing, I use the foam board from Dollar Tree. You don't have to. If you've got cardboard or a cereal box or whatever would work, you know, use your imagination. Use something out of your house. You don't have to spend any money for this, you know. So I just kind of traced it out, and then I used a compass to kind of like attach the 2 sides, like so that it would have like a circular overhang in the back, if that makes sense. And my blade was so dull when I was cutting out this foam board, and it just massacred it. So I just took some tape and kind of hid that with some tape, because I'm going to paint over it with this black acrylic paint, and it's going to be a wall hanging with like greenery in it, so you won't really be able to tell that in the end. So that's what I did to cover up my mistake there. And then going back to our kitty litter containers, take them both outside and spray paint them with aluminum spray paint. And I'm only showing you one here, but you know, I did both. And then when you're done with that and it's all dry, take it back inside. And I took apple barrel, pewter gray, and granite gray, and this is the first time I've used this color combination to create a galvanized look. I've just been kind of experimenting with different paints and see which ones I like better, and I do like this combination. It actually worked really well with the aluminum and the 2 apple barrel colors. It worked out really well. But I'm using that natural sponge that I showed you from Dollar Tree, and I'm starting with the darker gray. And save that mesh bag or any mesh bag that you have in your house if you want to recreate any of these, because you will need it for our later project. And when you are done with the darker gray, then go in with your lighter gray, and don't cover all of the aluminum. You want some of the aluminum showing through, but not a lot of it. And so that's the effect you'll have when you're done. And I actually really like this color combination for the galvanized look. I think it's almost perfect. In my opinion, I like it a lot. And this might be the color combination I stick with from now on when I create galvanized look. I don't know. But then I kind of took sort of a thinner brush and started creating my lines for the olive bucket, like the little black lines that the olive buckets have. And I just kind of started with one line and went underneath and did another line, went on top, did a line, and you know, just went on from there until I was done. And I think I did it mostly correctly. I kind of messed up on some of them, but you know, this is a farmhouse style, and that is what is so wonderful about a farmhouse style, is it's very forgiving. So then we're just going to join our 2 pieces together, and I just used a hot glue gun and stuck them together and created my wall hanging. And because I can't cut in a straight line to save my life, I wanted to kind of cover the fact that, you know, the top of my bucket wasn't cut perfectly straight, so I put nautical rope on mine. But in a minute I'll show you what it looks like with and without the nautical rope, so that, you know, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. And the 3 strands together was a little too thick, so I actually only used 1 strand from the big nautical rope, you know, to do my strands. But you know, you can use whatever you have, do what you like. That's the great thing about crafting, is it's all about what you like. You can take and adapt these to your style. So for our second DIY, I just took a Dollar Tree box. I'm so sorry. Why did I say that? A cereal box. Dollar Tree on the brain, I guess. I need to go visit soon. And I just kind of cut out 1 panel, and I took some craft sticks, and I cut one like that fit the shape, and used it as a template to kind of cut out the rest. And I just glued them down all the way across the board. And you will need the other piece in a minute, because we're going to cut 2 strips for the top and bottom of this, but I'll show you that in a second. I hope that you guys are enjoying all of the projects that I've been putting out. And if you are, I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe, because I have a very, very, very exciting thing coming up for you guys that I promise you don't want to miss. So this is antique wax, and you do not need that much. I accidentally poured out like half the freaking bottle. Oh my god, I was so mad. I was like, I'm gonna waste all my wax. You literally don't need very much. So take the Waverly antique wax and stain your wood, or that's what I did. You can use whatever you like, and dry brush over it with white. And then that's the two pieces I was talking about. I painted them black, and I went over it with like a metallic paint, just to kind of give it more of a, I don't know, more detail. And I put that on the top and bottom of the sign, and I lost the footage from that, so I apologize, but you'll see in the end where I put them. And going back to our containers, I painted them black with Waverly ink chalk paint. And the chalk paint on this actually worked just like it does with those, what's the little, oh god, I can't think. The little planters that are ceramic, not ceramic, but oh my gosh, somebody help me out. The ones that, like, when you paint them, they dry almost instantly. That's how this was. It's like instant dry. But anyway, then I went in with the white chalk paint and created a dry brush effect over that. And I really like this, the fan brush for this. I've never used a fan brush to dry brush with. I really liked it. It worked out really well for me. I thought that it would with the shape of these, that like maybe it would help, and it did. So this is our final. See the top and bottom, that's where I glued them on that. And our third DIY is going to come from these smaller Starbucks bottles that come like 4 to a pack. I'm using 3 of those. They're like smaller than the ones that you buy when you buy a single one. And I'll tell you, it's been really hard to drink all this Starbucks to be able to bring you these projects. Oh, it's just been so hard to do that. But anyway, I painted them white. Oh, no, I'm sorry, ivory. And when I work with decoupage and scrapbook paper, I always kind of wet my paper down first, because I don't know if you guys do that, but it makes it so much easier to decoupage. So much easier when it's a thicker piece of paper like that. And the way I do it is I just kind of wrap it in a wag, or a damp cloth of some sort. That way it doesn't get too wet, but it gets wet enough where you can kind of work with it, but it not fall apart, if that makes sense. And then you just decoupage it on the bottle. And I only put that on one bottle. And then I went in with, on the other 2 bottles only, I put the Waverly antique wax. And then I actually used my cloth that was there that was wet and kind of rubbed it into the paint. And I did not do that to the middle bottle, the one that has the scrapbook paper on it, just on those 2. And I did this for a reason, the wiping, because I'm gonna, on all 3 bottles, I'm gonna go in and dry brush over with the Waverly truffle. And when you dry brush over the sort of wet, wiped down wax, it almost gives it like a wood grain effect, like a dark old wood grain. It's so pretty on these bottles, and I loved it. This is exactly my style. I love that old sort of shabby, country style. I don't know, it's just I love decorating bottles in any style. It is literally my favorite craft in the world. I don't know what your favorite craft is. You guys should let me know. This is my favorite. I could literally decorate bottles every day. It's my favorite thing to do. Decoupaging, painting them. I have like a bazillion ideas for glass bottles. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so after you're done with that, just seal them up with some Mod Podge. And on the one that has the decoupaged on music note paper, I took some cotton twine from Dollar Tree and kind of framed it out. And then I just made like a really quick twine bow from the cotton twine. And I think I put a button in the middle as the middle of the bow. And I glued it on the top. And then on the other 2, I create, using that same music paper, I create like a flower with a button in the middle. And I'll show you how I did it. I knew I was out of ink and I was not going to be able to distress these circles. So before I cut them out, I traced them out with Waverly wax paint around a bottle. And that kind of created my distressing on the edges. And then all you want to do is fold them in half. And then take the sides of the paper on 2 sides and fold up to the middle where you fold it in half, like the crease that it made. I hope that makes sense. And if that doesn't make sense, or you can't understand what I'm saying there, just hit me up in the comments and I'll be happy to answer any questions about that. But then I just kind of took my white edges of the paper that we folded up and gave it the antique wax as well. And then you just glue them in a circle from there, and it creates like a, music note paper flower thing. And I loved it. I love the way this turned out. I seen this on Pinterest and I wanted to give it a shot. I'd never actually made this type of flower before. And I think it turned out really great. So for the top, I took this Dollar Tree like lace ribbon, and I kind of glued it like under the lip of the bottle. And then I took the twine, the jute twine. This is the last of my jute twine too. That one anyway. I've had that for like 5 years now. Seriously, I really have. And anyway, I glued the twine on top, and that's what our bottles look like. So for our next DIY, jumping right in, we're going to take the larger Stavrex bottle that you buy like when you buy a single one, and it's kind of the taller one. And this time I do the dabbing on with the white paint, because that really does work better. It just wouldn't work in my last effect, but you'll find that when you dab your paint on, it actually does stick to glass so much better. And then our little mesh bag I took outside and spray painted with black spray paint. And I just used my cheap spray paint. I mean, because this isn't, plastic or anything. It's just so tiny, and it worked perfect. So then I just kind of like shoved it up into the top, and held it down while I glued some twine around. And, it actually didn't quite turn out like I had planned, but I think I still like it. I actually wanted the mesh to kind of be molded to the bottle a little bit more than it was. It actually kind of turned out loose, but it still looks good. I still like it. And, I don't know. I'm starting to get very into this whole black and white thing that's been going on. Oh my gosh. That very modern farmhouse feel. And all of these projects are different styles of farmhouse. None of them are exactly the same. I just wanted to show you that you can literally do 100 different styles with trash from your home. It doesn't have to even be farmhouse. You can make glitz and glamoury stuff, So I found some Dollar Tree like spoons in my stash, and some rub-on transfers, and then to create that outside effect, that was Sharpie. And here's a final reveal of all of our projects today. I hope that you guys enjoyed and that you'll stick around and subscribe, because I really do have some very, very, very exciting things coming up next week, and you do not want to miss. I have a big surprise for y'all. So stick around, subscribe, comment, and let me know what was your favorite, and thank you for watching.